We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender. And it's all about the young police from Jamaica, seeing Young Police Channel. Big up yourself, Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video. Yeah.
LCD, you're looking at a man. Your man is a Jamaican and he goes by the name Javon Pinnock. And you know Javon Pinnock, he's wanted for the murder of Javon Jamison, aka Blingers. And you know Blingers was a Jamaican in the United States of America, law-abiding citizen who believed in the rule of law, and he wasn't doing anything illegal or inappropriate in America. And this man, because he feel like he can do anything and get away with it, killed this young man. So now that he's wanted, we want you, wherever you see him, please call 119, let the police know that he's wanted in New York, in Queens, for the murder of this young man. And so that they can extradite him, or if he put up any form of resistance, they can send him to departure alone. That would be justice. So we're appealing, we're begging you, please use your conscience, decency, ethics, and your humanity. Yes, we are a human family. We over at the Jamaica Young Police Channel say informer for live and gunman for dead. And we say that without no apologies. So moving on to today's. Yeah, so right now you're looking at the thumbnail. Look at your LCD and you'll see a man in the background that is one of Jamaica's most powerful man that ever walked earth. You know, the FBI says that he was the Moses that's supposed to save black people, and they did everything in their powers to make sure that they destroy this man. His name, false, they arrested him, convict him for wire fraud, in which he did not benefit not even 1 red cent. And to make matters worse, if you believe in justice, you would know that no justice exists when the federal government wants you. So what they did with Marcus Garvey, they used a blind man to testify against Marcus Garvey, a man who was legally blind, and they sent him to prison. The evidence was weak, but everything was all a scam. So now that we see that President Biden demits office on January 20th, and he had pardoned Marcus Garvey. We see a lot of Jamaicans celebrating and them sending it to us, and we don't even respond because Marcus Garvey did not do anything. But most people do not understand, say, one of the main reasons why the Democrats have done it to pardon Marcus Garvey, it's not because they love Marcus Garvey. Remember, Barack Obama spent two terms there. He didn't. And they have been trying like for over a century to get Marcus Garvey exonerated because he was a innocent man. We see the commute people sentence and all kind of thing, free them because they were wrongly convicted. But yet Marcus Garvey is only receiving a pardon. A majority of Jamaicans in America view the Democratic Party as oppressive, ungodly, and hating black people. So we're going to tell you why we are saying that. Because the reason why they pardon Marcus Garvey, you're going to hear. We know that the goldfish them gone already because them don't hear what them want to hear. Over here is not for them, but them still love over here anyhow. So President Biden pardoned Marcus Garvey posthumous. A historic reckoning with America's racial injustice in an unprecedented and electrifying moment of historical redress. President Biden has posthumously pardoned Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the legendary black nationalist, Pan-African leader and global icon of civil rights. Remember, it's not Jamaica that put Marcus Garvey on the map, So that's why even some people say, boy, what we are doing, we're trying to reach the wrong people. We should expand our, work. That's why we're on YouTube. But they're saying, although we have gotten offer to do a podcast to talk to black people, not just Jamaicans alone, but after careful consultation, as we say, in life everything is not what's in it for me, because majority of Jamaican people would not be able to pay the subscription fee to the podcast. Although I would be paid hefty, but at the end of the day you cannot look at that, because if you have a work to do, if you're looking at money, then you know that your motive for doing what you're doing, there's no love. What Marcus Garvey was doing back then, Marcus Garvey wasn't doing it for the money. He wasn't a scammer or a con artist. He loved black people wholeheartedly. As a youth, born and growing at the ghetto, believing in Marcus Garvey work. Edward Seaga, the man that most Jamaicans hate, is the man that brought him back there. Most Jamaicans don't know that the Manleys and Bustamante never like him. Michael Manley never like Marcus Garvey, because Marcus Garvey teach black people about being resilient, self-reliant, and independent, and love you one another. Black is beautiful. Marcus Garvey never teach if we kill each other. But he used Haile Selassie, one of Marcus Garvey critics. Marcus Garvey did say, most of you know this, Marcus Garvey did say, oh, Selassie as a black man gone join White League of Nations after Italy had attacked its country, Ethiopia. But if you want to learn more about Marcus Garvey and Haile Selassie, you have to read Marcus Garvey books them to find all of these information. Because they won't teach you this in school in Jamaica. And if you even go to the Ghetto University, the University of the Depraved Mind people them in Jamaica, I don't, if it's even there, then they don't teach you, so you will have to go to the library and do your research. So Garvey, who was unjustly convicted of mail fraud in 1923 under deeply questionable circumstances, has now had his name cleared nearly a century later. This monumental act does not merely erase a stain on Garvey's legacy. It is a thunderous declaration against the systemic racism and political persecution that sought to silence him in his lifetime. Garvey's conviction was steep in racial and political animus, orchestrated by a system terrified of his rising influence among millions of African American and people of African descent worldwide. We hear that Marcus Garvey did powerful back then. Imagine a man over a century ago was able to be discussed in a 7-continental world, where white, brown and all kind of people are questioning the robe that Marcus Garvey wear. And Marcus Garvey asked them, so who give the Pope permission to wear that robe? And him say him representing black people. They never like that, and him, you see where you see all the Macy's parade where you see going on at New York every year at Thanksgiving. Marcus Garvey, them get that from. White people thief that from Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, if you read the philosophy and opinion of Marcus Garvey said in our line book them, if you love yourself as a black person, you can't kill an next black man, because you realize that all of us who are here, we're not here because our ancestors wanted. We were captured and brought here. So all we are turning on when we supposed to unite and turn against each other. As a man make a little shilling and have a little money, he want to kill you because he want to show off on you. Marcus Garvey teach you that. That's why even before I was even able to think deeper and more and critically, I never see myself as being superior to another black man. The only thing that I don't subscribe to certain behavior. Marcus Garvey was that kind of person. Most of them most of you don't even know that Marcus Garvey was even shot in his office by a white man. 3 shots in his chest, and he didn't die. The white man that they sent to kill him, the same district attorney, them kill him, hang him in a cell. And because Marcus Garvey never have a army and he never have a gun. You have to read that and you will realize where we're coming from as a people. So our reach this juncture. Our white people, why we in this pickling in Jamaica and a white man named Michael Manley. Michael Manley, our father never liked Marcus Garvey because they wanted black people to think. But in Jamaica, remember when Marcus Garvey leave Jamaica, he said Jamaicans are some weird people. If you read Marcus Garvey book, you will realize that even over a century later, Jamaican people are still fools. I'm say it without no apologies. A segment of the society they are still fools. They love being used and abused and being manipulated. They love the oppression. So we're moving on. So at a time when segregation and Jim Crow laws ruled the land, Garvey dared to dream of liberation, self-determination, and a return to African greatness through Universal Negro Improvement Association, the UNIA. His bold vision for black empowerment articulated through fear speech, the Back to Africa movement, and the establishment of black-owned businesses made him a towering figure, but also a target for a white supremacist power structure desperate to maintain control. Marcus Garvey was the most dangerous black man over a century ago, Not for having an army, not for killing anybody, but because of his mind. So once your mind is destroyed, you know that you're twice defeated in the race of life. Marcus Garvey wrote that. I don't want to quote it in its entirety. So that's why them have black people in Jamaica kill each other. And we have a white man now in Jamaica by the name of Mark Golding. Don't be fool, people. PNP never liked Marcus Garvey. I am telling you this. Marcus Garvey was a pariah to these people. If it wasn't for Edward Seaga, Marcus Garvey body would not return to Jamaica. Don't take my word, it's right there in the Gleaner archives. I left this pay for it. Buster Mante, who's Norman Manley's cousin, and Michael Manley's cousin, said that when he was Prime Minister, said when Marcus Garvey body returned to Jamaica, they must bury him upside down. Edward Seaga, the same man, but the PNP them tell you to eat, put him political career and capital on the line and brought back Marcus Garvey body to Jamaica and made him a national hero. But that's not the man that them taught us to hate that man. Now, the same people them who capture our ancestors and return them to the slave owners, these are the same people now, the Maroons, the same people them I tell black people for love. So no love oppression. And I see me, the boy they a labor, a patriot, just educating my people. As I said before, 2 hours left. Can't afford for them to destroy. Then, years to come, a youth are going to sit down, and I say, boy, I have 2 hours left. If them in a listen to Chris, the youth are born and grow in a Jonestown and concrete jungle. The youth used to walk, just in a brief alone. Never have no slippers. We don't grow with no slippers and them things. We're not ashamed to talk how we grow up. just like Chris Gale. Just a brief reason why, because you know why you come out of your yard, you understand, but after a while you understand. Yes, in your brief alone. So we don't forget where we come from. Don't be fooled by the PMP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization. They have been destroying our people all this time for the past 52 years. And we're just trying to get back Jamaica from them. Marcus Garvey promotes self-reliance. Say, black people, if you have your own business, create your own wealth. Marcus Garvey, when Marcus Garvey was in New York and create an economy for black people, that's all the white nurse them leave the white hospital for work at the black hospital because the nurse them not get more pay. And Garvey said this can't happen. But guess what? Capitalists not like that. Them like when they suffer. Black Wall Street, that's a part of Garvey mind. That's a part of him dream. Black Wall Street, we see him white people because of jealousy and hatred. Even the government give them bomb, turpentine bomb for drop on black with brothers and sisters. Should we say with granduncles and grandaunts and cousins and kill them. Turpentine bomb. Over 5,000 African Americans were killed there. And it's just recently that the world know about it because of them control the narrative and history. And the people them would attack, them silence them, they don't give them, because remember say them control the media. And if you even want to write book, them control the printer, them control everything. So Marcus Garvey, bold vision for black empowerment, articulated through fear of speech. The Back to Africa movement made him a towering figure, but also a target for white supremacists. Power structure. So the pardon of Marcus Garvey is far more than a legal correction. It is an act of symbolic justice, a reckoning with one of the darkest chapters of racial and political persecution in American history. Right now, today, January 2023, 2025, that's where America will go back to. When them say make America great, that's where we'll go back to. Well, even black people lose them right. But you have to understand, say, in America, both political parties oppress black people. But we just are dealing with the Garvey thing today. You understand? So, it acknowledges that Garvey's conviction was not about fraud, but about fear. Fear of a black man inspiring global unity. Fear of his defiant challenge to white supremacy, and the fear of unstoppable momentum of the black liberation movement he ignited. The United States government, under the leadership of figures like J. Edgar Hoover, weaponized the law to neutralize Garvey, using fabricated charges to derail his movement and tarnish his name. So in time, they won't forget you. At anyhow, they manufacture evidence and send you to prison. From them see you as a turn or them kill you. You have to just, hey, I will tell you in America, when I best place and when I wickedest place on earth for black people. For Marcus Garvey's legacy, this pardon is nothing short of a resurrection. It vindicates the ideals of black pride, self-reliance and resistance to oppression that he championed throughout his life. Though Garvey died in 1940, exiled and disillusioned, he never wavered in his belief in the ultimate triumph of justice. Today, that belief is validated. The pardon is a powerful affirmation that history, no matter how unjustly written at the time, can be corrected by those courageous enough to confront it. This act of justice also serves as a clarion call for society to confront the ghost of systemic racism that continue to haunt us. It challenges us to revisit the countless lives ruined by corrupt systems and remind us that the fight for racial equity and true justice is far from over. Garvey's pardon is not simply about righting a wrong. It is about reigniting a conversation about the systemic structure that enables persecution and continue to oppress marginalized communities today. For the global Pan-African movement, this pardon reverberates with profound significance. It honors Garvey as a visionary leader who inspired millions across continents, from Harlem to Kingston and from London to Accra. It solidifies his place in history as a martyr for black liberation and a beacon of hope for our generations yet unborn. President Biden's decision sends a resounding message to the world that the United States recognize the need to address the scars of its past, and that even death justice can be served. This moment is a rallying cry for continued vigilance against systemic corruption and racial injustice. Garvey's pardon, though long overdue, is a reminder that the wheels of justice may grind slowly, but they must not stop. It compels us to look beyond this historic moment and towards a future where no leader, activist or visionary is silenced by fear, oppression, or by the weight of a biased system. President Biden's pardon of Marcus Garvey is a thunderbolt of justice, and one that illuminates the enduring power of truth and the resilience of those who fight for freedom. Garvey's spirit, unbroken in life and now vindicated in death, will forever stand as a testament to the transformative power of courage, vision, and unyielding pursuit of justice. So, whether or not you want to believe it, the Marcus Garvey pardon, a calculated move or genuine redemption. So there's a bitter truth some black people fail to grasp about pardons. They do not equate to innocence. So see some people say, yeah, see them free Garvey, him not free. Him dead and him still. Him dead as a convicted, an innocent man as a convicted criminal. What they can do for him done dead. And while the posthumous pardon granted to Marcus Mosiah Garvey by President Joe Biden may seem like a monumental step towards justice, we must pause and ask a critical question. Was this done in good faith, or was it just another political maneuver? Whether you choose to believe it or not, this act of clemency was not purely about rectifying historical wrongs. It reeks a political calculation, much like the strategic ploys used by past administrations to pacify and manipulate marginalized communities. So let's examine the facts. Garvey's conviction for mail fraud in 1923 was widely acknowledged as a politically motivated effort to dismantle his growing movement's influence and to silence his revolutionary voice. A pardon, while symbolically powerful, does not erase the historical injustice of his trial or declare his innocence. It merely forgives the crime for which he was convicted, a crime that many argue he never committed. For a man like Garvey, whose entire life was dedicated to uplifting black people and dismantling systemic oppression, this pardon is a hollow gesture unless it comes with official acknowledgement of the United States government's role in weaponizing the legal system against him and return all of Garvey property where them take from him. Most people don't even know that the American government did seize even the property them Garvey have owned in Jamaica, because they want to say him achieve the property them through the mail fraud that them charge him for, although him have the property them before he migrated to America. So some people say, but why now? Why did the Biden administration decide to grant this pardon nearly a century after Garvey's death? The answer, the goldfish them gone, the answer lies in the cold, calculated world of politics. Jamaican American, a critical voting black, have been shifting their political allegiance in recent years. in the last presidential election, an unprecedented 80% of Jamaican American voters reportedly cast their ballots for Donald Trump. And some people say, wait, but Donald Trump racist. Yes. But at least him honest. Him an honest racist. Him tell you what him, yeah. So this startling statistic has sent shockwave through the Democratic Party, which has traditionally relied on the overwhelming support of black voters. The part of Marcus Garvey appears to be a strategic move to court this influential group and regain their favour before the next election cycle. So they might wait upon next year now. So if this feels familiar, it is because history is repeating itself. In 1927, President Calvin Coolidge, most of you know this now, commuted Garvey's prison sentence and ordered his deportation. Marcus Garvey is the first person to be deported from the United States of America. Let me repeat myself. Marcus Garvey is the first person to be deported from the United States of America. This move, celebrated by some as an act of mercy, was nothing more than a way to neutralize Garvey's influence by removing him from American soil. He was sent back to Jamaica aboard one of his very ships he had envisioned as part of his ambitious Black Star Line. So you say Evergreen and all of these things, this shipping company where you see freight, and Marcus Garvey them get them things from. So a poignant and cruel irony. Coolidge's actions were not rooted in justice, but in a calculated effort to rid the US of a man who dared to challenge the status quo. Now, nearly 100 years later, we see echoes of Coolidge's maneuver in Biden's pardon. It is difficult to believe that this act was done out of genuine respect for Garvey's legacy or a sincere desire to address historical wrongs. Instead, it appears to be a well-timed move designed to win political points and sway Jamaican American voters back to the Democratic fold. The timing of this pardon cannot be ignored. President Biden, the end of his term and his administration, is keenly aware of the shifting political landscape. The pardon of Marcus Garvey is not just an olive branch. It is a calculated gamble to secure votes, black votes, Jamaican votes, African votes. But by granting this posthumous pardon, the Biden administration seeks to paint itself as a champion of justice and equality, hoping to resonate with a community that holds Garvey's legacy in high regard. Alright, so if they believe in justice, really, why them never commute Dudu's sentence? Because Dudus was a threat to the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, which is aligned to the Democratic Party. When I see him LGBTQ plus philosophy, them pass on the PNP LGBTQ plus in Jamaica promoted, because they thought that the Democrats would win. So them tell black them not respect them now, not God in them. And as we start the program, we tell us say one thing with them not believe Democrat, them not believe in a God. They are gods. Them have to tell us say you have over 1,000 sexes, and how dare you say a man or a woman. But the question remains, is this act of justice truly for the people, or is it a cynical ploy to manipulate their sentiments? To fully understand the implications of this pardon, we must confront the uncomfortable reality that systemic racism and political opportunism remain deeply entrenched in American politics. The pardon of Marcus Garvey, while symbolically significant, does not undo the injustices he faced or absolve the U.S. government of its role in the persecution. It is a gesture. Yeah, it's just a gesture. To say, it's a gesture. Them stretch out there and I say, yes, we don't say it, what them did was wrong, but them not exonerate him. One that may bring some solace, them want some, to his supporter, but does little to address the broader issue of systemic racism, political corruption and the exploitation of marginalized community for political gain. If you believe this pardon was an act of good faith, think again. The parallels between President Coolidge's deportation of Garvey and President Biden's pardons are too striking to ignore. Both moves were designed not to honor Garvey but to serve political agendas. As we reflect on this moment, we must remain vigilant and critical, questioning the true motives behind such actions and demanding genuine accountability from those in power. Marcus Garvey's legacy doesn't deserve more than a political convenient pardon. It deserves a full reckoning with the systemic forces that sought to destroy him, and acknowledge of the enduring impact of his vision. Anything less, it's not justice, it's just politics. So the real reason behind Marcus Garvey's pardon, a political maneuver cloaked in justice. Think again. As we saw over here, son for goldfishes, and when a sensational thing. Think again. If you believe the pardon of Marcus Garvey was an act of good faith, let's unravel the truth. This posthumous pardon was not about righting a historical wrong or honoring Garvey's unparalleled contribution to black empowerment. It was a calculated political move by the Democratic Party, an act of desperation to regain the trust of critical black voting bloc that overwhelmingly turned its back on them in the last presidential election. And the reason for the abandonment are deeply rooted in the policies, actions, and hypocrisy of the Democratic Party itself. Nobody not going to tell them, but we are going to tell them. The reason why we don't lose the election is because of this LGBTQ plus criminal behavior and this open border, where people are sleeping on the TV when I bring in illegal immigrants and you have veterans who are asleep on the street. Them two things they are alone. Nobody never care nothing about Trump. Them just say, as una put in them face, I una respect American. That's why people, even black people, vote against that. The LGBTQ plus criminal organ, LGBTQ plus movement, where people can't talk, them I tell them, man want to tell you, say, you call them they and all of them madness there. So in the last presidential election race, Kamala Harris led the Democratic ticket. As a descendant of Jamaican heritage, one might assume her candidacy will automatically resonate with Jamaican Americans and other black voters. But what the Democratic didn't anticipate was that the Jamaican Americans and black people, especially from Africa, across the diaspora, were paying close attention, not just to domestic policies, but to the party's foreign policies and how they disrespected black culture and sovereignty worldwide. Take, for instance, the infamous decision by the US Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica, to fly the LGBTQ plus flag. This action was seen by many as a blatant violation of international norms and the United Nations Charter, which dictate respect for sovereignty and cultural values of host nations. No, America bullbuck and duppy conquer the imperialists, while the Democrats dare to fly the flag in Jamaica and other predominantly black nations. They conspicuously refrain from doing so in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and other Muslim majority country, where such action would spark severe repercussions. So black people violent, but only to themselves. The Arabs, them violent to others, not to themselves. This selective application of their agenda sent a clear and insulting message. They were willing to disrespect black nations in ways they wouldn't dare with others. Adding insult to injury, the United States of America welcomed Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, an openly autocratic leader and a staunch opponent of the LGBTQ plus agenda, with open hands, allowing him to enter the United States without hindrance. While African politicians who were acting in the best interests of their nations found their US visas revoked or cancelled. Many were turned away at American airport, forced to waste time, money and dignity. Yes, them just do that. Instead of them send a letter and tell them, say, we don't want in your country, because true now, when I tell black people, them say, man, them say, boy, your rectum is not a sex organ. Them just revoke, them just wait till them reach and embarrass them, send them back. So this blatant double standard expose the Democrats' disregard for black leadership and their willingness to undermine African sovereignty. So them still feel say them superior to black people. Yes, white American in a Democratic Party, as we tell you, That's why people rather Trump, because Trump, although him lie, him an honest liar, yeah, him tell you, him Trump, I tell you, him not like you, I tell you why him not like you. Him not pretend like them. So black people in America and abroad began to see the writing on the wall. The Democratic Party wasn't championing equality or justice. They were pushing an agenda that many felt disregarded. Cultural values, ignore international law, and disrespect their communities. It became clear that black people were under attack, not only culturally, but politically, economically, and socially. As a result, in an unprecedented shift, Jamaican Americans voted overwhelmingly, nearly 80%, for Donald Trump, despite these well-documented flaws. Why? Because for all his narcissism, corruption, and divisiveness, Donald Trump administration did not disrespect black nations by flying flags that violated their cultural values, nor did it impose social engineering agenda on sovereign countries, as America was doing. Remember, so them did send Kamala Harris to Kenya, yeah man, and Nigeria, to tell them, say, take $11 million and tell the black people, them for black man, them for open up them body, and tell them, say, them are hero, and them tell her, say, them give her the middle finger and tell her, care about your money when you want your money. And so if she did win, we don't know, say, the terrorism, economic terrorism, them unleashed from black people. I remember, Barack Obama did nothing for black people. The only thing Barack Obama did for us as black people, he still say, black man, if you say a man can't go in your rear and you're a rear admiral, him say you're a hero. I think people in the military, him show that amount of respect. Like them, him and his wife. And the Democrat not realize now, say, when Barack Obama, we'll just give you some context. When Barack Obama was president, just became president, the Democrats had 59 seats because they were gaining momentum to become the majority in America. You know, from when them start sliding down, from Barack Obama came out and tell black people, Joe Biden news, yeah, come out and say, boy, nothing wrong for a man sleep with a man, because God them a player. And you couldn't dare, I mean, I tell you, the oppression where them oppress, especially people them are claims that people them are Christian, and you can't, and you can't, any material will expose the diseases them or these people emit after them body when them have the same behavior. All of them think that them scrub it from the internet. People lose them job because of it. You speak the truth. The PMP went after Dr. Bain. Remember, Dr. Carolyn Gomes, Ronnie Waite's cousin, who was the Minister of Education, for him lose him work. I quote in Jamaica, give him back. Him lose him work at University of the West Indies, courtesy of a man who come from hungry. Him came and go back there, Lord the evil. Yes, George Soros, the same man who won the PMP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, and the Maroons them. So I'm thinking that we're educated, because we want to know to stay for we don't know the enemies. So this brings us to the pardon of Marcus Garvey. The Biden administration, well aware of the growing discontent among black voters, particularly Jamaican Americans, need a symbolic gesture to regain their trust. By pardoning Garvey, they hope to appeal to the deep reverence Jamaicans and the global black community have for this iconic leader. But let's be clear, this was not an act of justice or reconciliation. It was a political ploy, a desperate attempt to win back a constituency that saw through their policies and rhetoric. So any Jamaican who say boy them burn Timan and Timan forget gunshot and Timan nasty, and you say you support the PNP. Shut up. The pardon also conveniently distract from the Democrats' other feelings, while they posture as champions of progress. Their policies have alienated not only black people in the US, but also their brothers and sisters across the African continent and the Caribbean. For instance, while they revoke the visas from African leaders, they push their controversial agendas domestically, including supporting surgeries and medical interventions for minors. So you look at Pitney can go to school as a boy and come home as a talk about them a girl and all kind of madness, and have drag queen and all of these people where them are court your kids, and you as parents you know no rights. So this social engineering coupled with their hypocrisy in selective imposing their values on black nations while sparing others has not gone unnoticed. So we notice that us them a take set on black people. We don't want nothing to do with them and them culture. White people if you don't want it, because that's why in Europe, Europe now come back in, so that's why them have to create war in the Middle East. Forget the Arab them for migrate to Europe for build them population. But eventually, them all lose Europe because I Muslim them all take over Europe. Just like what them do. With the conquistador. If you know about history and them thing, them chase out the Moors. Because the Moors were in Europe for over 700 years. That's the reason why them tell us that the people them who come, they are from Ireland, Spain and Italy. They are not whites, they are black people. If you understand, because of the Moors. The Moors are African, from North Africa, black people, our ancestors, our great grandfathers and all of these people. Because once you're black, you can't go back. You're black. If you're brown, you can't stick around, but you're still black. So that's why, but the Italian, them glad for you, so them get them black, them white card 1962. Just like even the Jews, them, whether Israel, them say them black too. Cause them have one, but them say them black, them get them white card in America. 1962. Yeah, because whether or not you want to believe it, when Garvey was alive, them used to have signs say, them rather a dog than an Irish, an Italian, or a Jew in them place in America. Yeah, they sign them up if you go on YouTube. But now, and then it turn around and them same and turn on and oppress black people. All of them didn't see him thing, NAACP. Marcus Garvey tell them, say, oh, if you have an organization, say for black people, colored people, but yet it's a white man farmer, you're a fool. And it still exists to this day. Whether or not you want to believe it, you live in America as a black man have any problem. Nobody the only time the NAACP will help you as a black person. Only if you're a rear admiral, you're a Timan. Them not help you no other way. Remember me tell you, or something make news like George Floyd and them can get some traction. Them the fight for real black people per se. It's just a fear, it's a facade. So when black people say, for instance, while the American them revoke visas of African leaders, and they push their controversial agendas, I tell us, boy, up is down and down is up. Actions many see deeply troubling and morally wrong. The social engineering that the American are imposed on black people, we say no, it's wrong. Do what you want to do with you and your pitney. Don't tell our pitney. Because remember I said them brainwash you through school. So let's not forget the biblical principle that God used, even the flawed, like a drunken man to achieve his purpose. Many black voters saw Trump as that imperfect vessel, someone who, despite his faults, stood as a barrier against the cultural and political overreach of the Democratic Party. Under Trump, there was no disrespect to black nations by flying foreign flags in their sovereign spaces. Means that the LGBTQ plus flag and all over the White House. I shows so say, because them believe say, them are God. Them don't believe that there's a supreme being. So people were free to live as they please, but they were not forced to accept ideologies that clash with their cultural and religious beliefs. So the West and Europe, they want to impose their ideology and philosophy and their culture on you. Black people don't want them culture. If you want to go sleep with a man or a woman, sleep with the next woman, a phone business that. We have people in our black people who do that. I want to busy with them. But no matter tell we say you want everybody to accept it. You know what I mean? To say because everybody doing it make it right. We don't want to do it. So stop force us. So the pardon of Marcus Garvey then is nothing more than a political posturing. It is an attempt to rewrite the democratic narrative to obscure their track record of disrespecting black people both at home and abroad. But we must not be fooled. Garvey pardon, while symbolically significant, does not absolve the Democratic Party of its hypocrisy or its continued exploitation of black people for political gain. Who cares what individuals choose to do with their lives? Certainly we don't care. Jamaica Young Police Channel. If you want to sleep with a man, your business. Your woman, you sleep with a man, your business. But don't tell me what you want me to think and tell me say it's right. Over here it's not who is right, it's what is right. So when you are forcing nations and communities to accept ideologies that clash with their deeply held belief, it's not progress, it's oppression. The pardon of Marcus Garvey cannot undo the harm done by years of disrespect and betrayal. It's a smokescreen, a distraction from the deeper issues at play. So before you celebrate this pardon as a victory for justice, think again. Ask yourself, was this really about Garvey or was it about votes? Was it about correcting a historical injustice or was it about political survival? The answer lies in the actions and policies that preceded this gesture. Until those are addressed, the pardon remains what it is, a calculated hollow act, meant to manipulate, not to liberate, so them still a fool the same way. So in conclusion, the Democrats' ulterior motives behind Garvey's pardon, the pardon of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, was not granted because it was the morally just thing to do. It was a calculated political move driven by ulterior motives. The Democrats facing backlash from Jamaican American and Africans and the broader black community for their hypocrisy, disrespect for cultural values and divisive policies, saw this pardon as a way to mend their fractured relationship with a delusional voting black. Even when them control the House and the Senate, them have two senators who say them now vote for people them get better pay, because them only care about the rich people. So black people say, well, so what is sense then? Rather than addressing the systemic issues that have alienated black people at home and abroad, they chose a symbolic gesture to mask their feelings. This was not about justice or reconciliation. It was about optics and political survival. Garvey's legacy deserved better and honest reckoning with the injustices he faced and an acknowledgement of the truth behind his wrongful conviction. Instead, the Democrats used his name and legacy as a pawn in their quest to regain lost trust and votes. Let us not be deceived. The pardon of Marcus Garvey is a reminder that political gesture often come with strings attached. True justice demands more than symbolic acts. It requires genuine accountability, respect, and a commitment to addressing the deeper injustices that persist. Until then, gesture like this will remain hollow, driven not by principle, but by the pursuit of power. As them say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Marcus Garvey did not commit any crime in America. He was framed by the white system because this black man opened the eyes of black people and let them know that they were real human beings. At the time they were saying we are 3/5 of a human, and Garvey spelled it out. Even before that, we have DNA to tell us that we were the superior being. That's why the white man said Marcus Garvey was the black Moses that they had to stop. Them get all WD, WEB, the boys. All of them. And them get jealous of him because them same the born here in the born of America, on American soil. And Garvey tell them, remind them, say all of us came on the same ships. Just some of us dropped at different ports. And remind him said the one them were docile and passive, them drop them off in America. But the one them want to fight and want to in slavery, them send them to Jamaica. So that's why from back then until they know that Jamaica was the capital for Africa. Marcus Garvey pardon is a political ploy, scam, not genuine. So those of you who celebrate, we don't say goldfish them gone a long time. Those of you who celebrate, they celebrate the wrong thing. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica, Young Police Channel, out.